Bentornati. Welcome back, my friends. We are back in the Cataclysm with our friend Tim, and we've just finished completely looting this small town of Hammond dry. And this is probably the last that we will do in terms of thorough looting. It's been now a number of episodes that we've been out and about, and actually I'm having even a little bit of difficulties finding our base, but here it is, the evac shelter, where there's still an NPC here, Kevin Rockwell, that probably still has a quest for us, but so much we wanted to explore. We wanted to go out and see what could be found in the world that we never even paid him too much attention. But yes, we explored all around us. We visited a big number of places, and now the small town of Hammond we looted dry. The last thing that we will do before going back to the base is that we will follow this road south and just see where it leads. And without further ado, let's start the vehicle. If I remember correctly, there were a couple of zombies that just went straight into this swampy area. We never saw them again. There's a Cougar somewhere. Is it in here? Yes, this is a Cougar. And this is another tear in reality. This is like the third one the team saw so far. In other runs that I've played, I didn't see this many. Actually, it's probably the first time that I see tears in reality in a map at all. I knew about them, but never experienced them. And I know that they are extremely dangerous, and you can get near them if you want to find some quote-unquote fun, but not really something that can be dealt with, unless not with what we have right now with Tim. So we should try our best. Maybe let's get a little bit more speed, so that we get out of the way as fast as possible. Let's check the map and see if we revealed more, and look at that, we did. This is another farmhouse. And do we want to actually make a marker on the map for that tear in reality? Let's do that. Let's make it a red and what, T maybe? Tear in reality. Yeah, and like an idiot, I pressed ESC instead of enter, because that makes sense. Second take, tear in reality. Yes, now it's there. Let's decelerate a little bit now. Let's see if we can get in. And with a crunch and a smash, the mobile Meth Lab's frame rams into the strawberry bush. Actually, I thought we were hitting the fence, but that is not the case. Let's stop. Pull the handbrake. Stop driving. Let's take a quick look around and let's not loot the kitchen this time. What is this? A Dungeon Master Guide 6th edition. This kitchen is totally empty. You know what? A full gallon jug of cooking oil and canned chicken. Okay. I just did what I said I wouldn't. Let's see what we have here. A photo album. What's this? A leather album full of photos of somebody's family. You don't know any of the people in them, but seeing these pictures still makes you think of happier times. Did Tim have a family? We don't know, but for some reason he feels compelled to take this album with him. What is that? A BB gun. So nothing much in here, but this being a wrench, not a wrench, a ranch? The kind of place where you keep animals. There might be tools and chickens too. So let's take a look, because we might find something useful. And horses. There's a step ladder. Rein and tackle. Now, rein and tackle is the item that you can attach to a vehicle and have a vehicle pulled by horses. Now, I tried it and it works. The one strange thing is that the vehicle still makes engine sounds, even if it is pulled by horses. There's a tree spile in here. I don't think we need a tree spile. This is the last chance for us. There's a hedge trimmer. A cordless, double-sided, gasoline-powered edge trimmer. A long line of sharp-edged teeth extends from the engine. Turning the trimmer on will make them rapidly vibrate. The poor man's chainsaw as far as the zombies are concerned. And nothing else. No hatchet, no pickaxe. This is our exploration run for now. Now, there is of course a lot more we could do in terms of exploration. For example, all this space in here that is open field, we could just ride on the grass and go and see what is there. In here too, we could go north and then west, but we will not do that now. I will now jump back on the mobile Meth Lab and drive it all the way back home, and I will meet you there. And I just remembered that long ago we said that we would have stopped in here again, going back home to grab a little bit of these rebars. And it also seems like we hit one or even both, no, I think just one Yes, one of these giant web spiders is now heavily injured because it was caught by the moving vehicle. Let's grab this foot crank. Let's take a look at this. What do we have in here? Rebars. And lots of them. I will grab just a few for now. But I imagine that they will come in handy at some point when we want to tackle some big construction project. Let's actually make a note in here in green. Let's do like this. Rebars and rocks. And actually this amount of stones, just rocks, free and all in one place, is really good. There's a number of things that you can build just out of rocks. For example, like a forge or a heart, and collecting enough rocks to build something like that would normally take a fairly long time. So it's good that we found a place where such materials can be found in good quantity. There was a leather seat, and it seems like we just went over it. Wait a second. It was this one. Yes, we just damaged that leather seat. And this zombie soldier is still in here. I came to the realization that military zombies, probably because of the helmet they wear, have a reduced line of sight, reduced aggro radius, just to be more clear. There's still a Kraken in here. Did we loot any of these? Glow stick, roll mat. Is it even worthy? A backpack? Yeah, it doesn't look like a, how they're called, a scientist group. And Krakens, as we learned a while ago, they're not that dangerous. I hadn't realized they were so close to the evac shelter. They're really, really close. That concerns me a little bit. They are well inside the reality bubble. They are totally in, because it's 3 map squares in each direction. It may be worth it to just try and dispatch them, because even if, as we discovered, they aren't that aggressive, they can still do us harm, and I don't want that. So one is gone. We are damaging the vehicle, doing this repeatedly, but I prefer that to a swift death while we sleep at night. Okay, the Kraken dies. Yeah, we lost some pieces. There's another one? There's a third Kraken in here. Are they coming out of that other Terran reality? Alright, you're the last one. Don't go near the boulders, please. should be no more Rakens in the vicinity. Do we want to take glow stick or roll mat? I guess we do, we just did. Just because why not? And now let's go and park the vehicle outside the evac shelter. And now that we are back home, I will spend some time taking everything out of the vehicle and sorting it out around our crafting spot. See you in a sec. Alright, I think this is the last trip. It took, as you can imagine, quite some time to move everything out of the vehicle, and I mean, I may have gone a little bit overboard. Now, materials will absolutely come in handy, and especially if you look at this pile of leather clothing. That is basically a lot of what we are going to need in order to craft some good armor for ourselves. As soon, of course, as we raise our skill in tailoring, that for now is just, what am I doing? I want to go here. It's just 1.5 basically. In here instead, there's a huge pile of things that can be disassembled for raw materials, like cell phones, radios, flashlights, microwave computers, thermal electric suits and stuff like that. There's a big pile of chemicals that didn't exist before. There's a huge pile of books, and to be honest, I could go ahead and take all the ones we have doubles. This one. I don't know if comic books can count as different issues, but all of the skill books doesn't make a sense to have doubles, like 3 issues of popular mechanics. All of this we can take and bring down here, basically to later disassemble to get paper out of. But the most madness is with the food. I've looted just ludicrous amounts of food, and if you count that some of these are perishable, like for example all this milk will rot tomorrow. And there's no way we will learn to do something with it, but we can still use the gallon jug. So as soon as this milk gets old, we can throw it all on the ground out of the shelter and just reuse the gallon jugs. But yeah, we have apricots, cherries, cake, tofu, grapes. There's just so much stuff, and some of these anyway, you know, things that will go off in 4 or 5 days, 2 weeks, these are really good. I mean, who knows if this run is gonna last for a full in-game season, because that is a lot. It's a lot of time. There's a lot more factors involved other than food in surviving weeks and seasons in this game. This is how our pile of tools now looks. Just notice we have a couple of loaded sewing kits. That doesn't really make much sense. We want to unload one of these. And yeah, drop everything, and then maybe reload the one that exists. can use the filter to select the right one, and we have also a lot of thread. Well, not really a lot, but there's other ways to get the thread. We have a soldering iron now. Yes, and it is loaded with batteries. What we still don't have though is a wrench, which is needed for everything vehicle mechanic, and we don't have the means of welding metals. I'm thinking, let's have a read at least once through all of this, because until you get the first read out of each book, you will not know what kind of recipes are in there. You need to have a quick read, at least at the index of a book, to know what you can find inside. So, and we're almost done, and we're done. Let's drop back all of these books. Now, I can all go back in there. Now, did something happen? Did we get some new recipes out of that? Let's take a look at our épée, our fencing sword. Can we sharpen it? Are you serious? We don't have a single rock in here. let's go take a rock just anywhere. As it seems, that is all that is needed to sharp this sword. Yes, give me a rock. That is exactly the right rock for us. And there you go. Get items. Sharpened épée. Let's take a look at it. 3 bash, 12 pierce. 12 makes it in damage. It now rivals our spears. However, it has rapid strikes, so it means that in half of the moves, so like 47 moves, it will do 6 pierce damage. So against unarmored targets, it will be a lot of quick stabs, quick attacks. However, against an armored target like a zombie, a soldier, it won't work as well. I think we have to put the rock in the tool cabinet. What else did I... So in this pile I placed all this stuff that I imagine I will be bringing along in the next sortie. But even something that doesn't really make sense, like all these hip flasks of rum and vodka. Probably I want to bring this in the pile of food. And the milk we had in our canteen is now hold. So let's go outside. What is this? Oh, bullet casing. And unload the milk and pour it on the ground. And now our canteen is empty. What else? Let's take a look in the other category. Might make a stone axe. A fish trap. I need to read about fishing. I never tried fishing in this game. But anyway, do we need more food? do I need fish? Not really. Not really. Plant fiber out of Dogbane. Alright, so this is one of the benefits of going around and collecting natural resources in bushes. When you find either cattail or dogbane, that gets converted into 10 thread units, which is very good. Bundle racks, washboard, oars, wooden frame. Wooden frame would be the basis of a wooden vehicle. A plastic jerry can. By cutting what? Oh, out of 4-gallon jugs and duct tape, we can make a plastic jerry can. More headlamps. Actually, we have a number of headlamps to dismantle. You know, that is a thing we could do. Let's get to disassemble this stuff. Like, for example, these 3 cell phones. Let's take them apart. 2-way radio. Now I'm thinking this is the only 2-way radio we have. We might hold on to that. Let's disassemble this other cell phone. And there's a curling iron. Look at that. Your skill in mechanics has increased to 1. So just by disassembling various items, we are getting our skill in mechanics. And with mechanics 1, we could start working a little bit on the vehicle, if only we had a wrench that we still didn't find. We will have to do some serious scavenging. This is a skate park. We need to find somewhere a urban garage in the hope of finding a welder and a wrench. Now there is also a chance to find these things in homes, so I'm thinking we will need at some point to just simply dive in the city, do our best to do the thing that I've said multiple times, but I was too scared to do. Because honestly, I intend to play this run as a hardcore run, so if Tim dies, he dies. There's a mansion in here. A mansion could just be a place to find a lot of good stuff. More looting. There's no end to the looting. This is the looting game. Actually, I know how to close this one. A thing that I should have done right away. Interact with this terminal. Login into evac shelter computer. Login successful. Press any key. There's an emergency message. Greetings, citizen. A biological attack has taken place and a state of emergency has been declared. Emergency personnel will be aiding you shortly. To ensure your safety, please follow the steps below. Do not panic. Remain inside the building. Seek shelter in the basement. Use provided gas masks. Await further instructions. Now, we probably did nothing of that. Also because there was no provided gas mask and no further instruction arrived. We don't want to disable external power? Contact us. This is actually something that makes sense. Now, the message doesn't say much, but gives you a refugee center location that now should be on our map. And would you look at this? We now know of a road that would take us all the way through this town here and then another town. Actually, this is a city, a rather large city, and near a private resort. Never saw a private resort. And then out of town to this refugee Center. A refugee center is practically a large area with a building and a bunch of survivors in there, and you can do a certain number of missions for those survivors, and there's also a little bit of a trading involved. And judging by what I've seen, the handling of those NPCs might have improved, because the one NPC that we've seen so far, and also something that I've discovered by watching other Let's Players, it's kind of good. I'm happy with the direction the NPC gameplay has taken. But yeah, it's quite far. It's quite far, and the road goes through a number of fairly challenging, let's say, places. What is this? A bank, a bowling alley, abandoned storefront. Do we see a garage? A radio station, office tower. I don't think we can go near an office tower. Any very big and supposedly very populated building is just a huge nest of zombies. Can we use the search on the map? Yes. Can I look for garage? There's one in here. Electric golf cart in garage. Oh yeah. This is a note. It also searches through the notes, which is good. No, there's no other garages. What about mechanic shops? No result found. And that sound startled me just a little bit. So many houses. Alright, but that will have a sporting goods store. Did I notice this already? Anyway, what I was saying, further exploration will have to wait for another time. So I hope this one was enjoyable for you. It was a lot of just messing around with loot, as probably has become common. But for now, I'm signing off, and I hope to find you for the next episode. Ciao.